Hello friends and students, let's study the song Prema Ishq Kaadhal. Okay, please excuse my pronunciation. So I hope you will notice I have the capo at the first fret. Alright, we're going to count to 4 to play this song, but as often is the case in counting to 4, we will then divide each of those beats into 4 separate pieces. So our basic count is 1, 2, 3, 4, and with the subdivisions it will sound like this: 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and okay, it's much like taka dimi taka juna taka dimi taka juna. This way of thinking helps us place our notes and rests and all those effects in the correct placement, rhythmically speaking. Alright, now let's look at the chords. Of course, I'm going to refer to all of the chords relative to the capo. So the first chord, we can say it is D minor, but really, let's call it, let's mention that you will emphasize string 4, 3, and 2, and not too much of this first string. It's more on string 4, 3, and 2, the strumming. In which case we would call it a D5. Okay. You might also notice I'm doing my D minor with my 4th finger instead of the 3rd finger, and that's because the next chord is C. And also when later in the song we have to do this little melodic passage, and it's a better choice to use this fingering at this time. Okay, so the D minor on beat 1 and 2, and then on beat 3 you switch to a C chord, and then in this place we call the end of beat 4, you will switch to an F chord. So those are the 3 chords. Notice I said that you will play the F on the end of beat 4. What do I mean? Well, it comes before beat 1, but after beat 4. In other words, the F pops up in a kind of a surprise, or in a unique spot. Let me count to 4 and play just the F chord and you will understand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So you hopefully heard that the F came on the end of beat 4. So the simple chord progression will sound like this: 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's talk about the strum pattern. Well, to begin, we will play D minor 4 times in a row. Well, where do we play it 4 times in a row? What I mean is specifically on what beat. It will sound like this: 3, 4, 1, 2. Let me do that again. I added an extra 8th note by accident. 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, you notice I clap 4 times in very specific spots. 1, 2, and so on beat 2 I'm saying 2 enda, and that comes from 2 e enda, and in this way I am thinking 2 e enda. Okay, and that describes the first 2 beats, what chord to play in the exact rhythm. 1, 2, enda. Now we switch to the C chord, and we're going to play that 4 times in a row also, but with a slightly different rhythm, which is 3 and 4 E. Okay, so let me put this together so far. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3 and 4 E. Now if you remember, we're going to switch then to the F chord on the end of 4, such as 4 E end. That was 4 E. The counting is 4 E on the C chord, and then end on the F chord. That makes measure 1. Let me put it all together in slow motion. 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3, and 4, E, and. Okay, now when we get to the F chord, we have to play it several more times to fill up measure 2. And where do we play it in measure 2? We play it on after beat 1 on E end, such as 1 E end, 1 E end. Okay? Then we're going to play it on beat 2 3 times, such as this. 2 and a, 2 and a. After that, beat 3 is the same, 3 and a. So far in measure 2 we have just playing F chord, and I will demonstrate how we have played it in measure 2 in slow motion. 3, 4, 1 E and 2 and a, 3 and a. Now when we get to beat 4, we're going to have this little melody. That's it. It's B, A, G, A, sa, di, ga, ga, ma, ga, di, ga. So we have this little melody, which is on fret 3, 2, open, 2. That's all on string 3. But we want to incorporate that melody into the F chord. So you have your standard fingering for the F chord here, and you're going to use your 4th finger to play that note on the 3rd string at the 3rd fret. Remove the 4th finger, that brings us down to the 2nd finger on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. Then play the open 3rd string, and then back to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Now if you can strike, let's say, string 4, 3, and 2 while you play that melody, you will get this sort of harmonized effect. Alright, that's the tricky part. After that, you just go back to D minor and we'll start this cycle again. So now we have learned measure 1 and 2. I'm going to put it together 2 times in a row in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and a 3, and 4 E, and 1 E, and 2, and a 3, and a 4 E, and a. Okay, that's the whole thing for that section, and of course you can learn more of the song by checking out the transcription that I have provided in this video. Okay, so you can always vary these things slightly. You can modify them and you can simplify them. As long as you have basically a good rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a nice melody or a good singer, whatever, a flute or a violin. You should be alright. Remember, it's rock and roll, and you can vary things up and improvise a little. So you can hear the fan on my computer going crazy. So that's a good sign for us to end this video. So I hope you now have the tools to study well and have fun.